Y'all ready for this? So the question remains, how big are the fish in the city creeks I go wandering through? So let's go find out. I want to see that blue heron and figure out why its wings are only about 6 inches long. Oh, there's a bass right there. Watch this. Oh, it did not get it. Did you see that bass? I don't have my glasses on. Hang on. You've got to be kidding me. The only 2 rocks out there that could get this thing stuck are right by that bass. Let me put my glasses on. Now I see you little... This is not the video yet, in case you're wondering. Man, if I walk out there, I ruin it. So, well, I blew that. Now it's going over there. How is this possible? That is a beast of a bass for this little bitty hole. I'm about to fall down. I mean a good one. I'm telling you, that's a good bass. You don't believe me? Now the bass is flying, swimming away. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna try again. That's way too far, but I gotta get through the rocks, Bear with me. It's still sitting there. Yeah, the sun went away and I can't see it real good anymore. So I'm gonna try to drop right in front of its face, but I didn't. It is still sitting there. I know you can't see it. I've got on polarized glasses, so I can see it sitting there, but it's clouding up. Don't worry about that backlash. Okay, doesn't bother me either. My goodness. This is what happens when you get too excited. Dude, you wouldn't backlash if you didn't have a $7 Temu reel. True that. Okay, bear with me. There. Come with me now. Man, if they got hung in that same rock, I would be. This is also a broken Guggen squad. I only needed about $75 worth of Guggen. I will catch that fish if I stand here long enough. It is still there. Do not go the way. Ah, a little bit of backlash again, but the worm's coming near it. Not good. I'm pretty backlashed, and I'm cranking it up. I gotta get the backlash out. Backlash is out. I can barely see the tail of the bass. I'm in a good spot right there. It doesn't want it. It keeps running from it. I guess everybody comes right here and does the same thing. Okay. Where is it? Okay, we're gonna move and head downstream. The more I walk across this, it breaks up all the moss, and then it rolls over the side and makes it all muddy out there. I can't stand it. I want that fish, but I gotta watch where I'm walking now, because I don't want to fall the down. And I have some sort of a system of a down. Huh, I just slipped. Hold on. The bass lives in this hole right there. If I had a real worm on a bobber, or an indicator if you will, I would catch that fish fast. But we're gonna go downstream and look for city treasures at the same time. I always wondered why there were so many beaver in here, and there are some pretty large freshwater mollusk in here. So the bass has got to be up in the weeds now. Okay, I can't stand it. Let's get right there, bounce off. We look like a bug that just fell in the water. Over the rocks, over the rocks, over the rocks. Over the rocks, over the rocks. That's one smart bass. So now we go to one more position of depth. As for the garbage in the creek, that's just simply garbage in the creek. You have to have a half a Googan rod. I didn't buy this thing, it was my son's. There's no way I'd fish or put the word Googan on anything I own. Nobody even knows what it means. What is some kind of Googan? Well, maybe I am. Okay, we're gonna go up here. In the poison ivy land. Gonna break this off. Gonna break that. Gonna break this. I do not see a large. I just heard a kitty cat. I'd call for it, but cat calls are inappropriate now, I've heard. So I'm going to skip that option. The owls are wondering who I am. I've told y'all this story before. I had a professor in college who professed that he knew everything about evolution, and he continued to profess that owls only used to feed in the daytime along with hawks and eagles and little cute beagles. And I raised my hand and said, well, he said, but the competition was so stiff in the daytime that owls evolved to start fishing at night. God, I missed that snake. So it's over here somewhere. And I raised my hand and I said, well, that explains why their faces are flat, because they couldn't see it first and they crashed into all the trees. So their faces evolved to soften the blow. I should see many snakes. I hate that I'm walking downstream, but it's like my only option. The other end is incredibly deep. We'll find something here in a minute. I don't know how far we're going to get before it gets too deep. I've got to put my glasses back on so I don't fall and crack my crown. I just had it put in the other day, and they are not cheap. That's a pretty good one, wasn't it? Yes, Papa, that was really funny. So here's the first challenge. Red clay on the creek bank is like walking on ice or broken glass. As Annie once said, I really don't want this nasty water in the boot, but bruh, it's walking water. Oh, I don't want to. I'm thinking through it. I chose option G and just lightly filled them up. Now it doesn't matter. I've only got a few sores on my legs, so this good toxic creek water should really work well in helping them heal faster. Chance of me, I'm gonna have to find a pretty good pool to catch a decent bass in here. But there are some deep ones, and now that the feet on the end of my legs are wet, we will find another snake. I missed it. We should have been under those bushes with our hands out. With everybody singing. Little FYI, snakes do not have ears, which means they cannot hear. So you ask yourself, well, how do they know you're there? And I ask yourself, is your Google broken? I tell you what, this creek stinks. Hold on. I was dumping my boot out. Which doesn't really matter because I'm about to walk through the water again. So let's remove this, even though it's my favorite tree in the world. And let's do a cast out through here. Just put that up in that tree right there, and there's a real good chance you're gonna get a fish. Come up slow. Ding-a-lang-a, ding-a-lang-a, doom. Ding-a-lang-a, 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 ding-a-lang. And then put it back at your feet. Then check it. Make sure the hook's not poking out. It's not. That's a sufficient. I don't know how deep it is right there. Not deep enough, and I cannot see in this water anymore. That is not cool. Which means I'm probably not going any. Hold on. Okay, we had a little nibblelicious, but it was most likely a brim. Let's take it to the top. Dude, did that really cost $7 on Temu? It did. Check it. This is a no-name AW200. One more try. I think I've gone as far as I can go. Then I'm gonna have to just kind of under the tree, like it matters in here. We're gonna go do something else in a minute, since fishing probably doesn't float your banana boat spray. Doesn't mind. The actual cool part is, even though I cannot see in the water anymore, there's only been like one alligator spotted in this waterway in like it's getting deep, like the past 10 years. You can hear the kind of falls down there, which means it's getting deep, which means it's gonna get really deep down there. So I gotta stay on the bank and a little bit clear. The bigger the alligator, the more chance you have to step on it and it work out like it's just a step stool. And that's what I'm hoping for when I go down this road. Oh, that's so deep. It may be getting too deep because I can't get the phone in the pocket wet. I'm telling you, it's the clay on the sides is so slick. But if I can get around this tree, if the sun would come back out, bruh, what you talking? You have some sunshine on your shoulders. So break these. Or at least just move them, because they don't really do anything for me. Except work as a really good handle when the water gets way too deep. Oh, another snake over there. Doggone it. That's 3 we've missed. Phone just almost went in the water. I may find another way out of this. Is that a ticker spider? This is really deep right here. I need to get somewhere where I can really castrate this thing and throw it out there. Look how deep it is. I know what you're thinking. No way in the world he's gonna do that. I'm with you. I got a backlash. but it's in the on the tree right there where I can pop it out, which is okay. I'm in kudzu. Not good. Kudzu hangs on now. Don't be scared now. That's a good choice right there. There's a June bug. That's probably right there. That's probably some kind of a zoom fishing worm right there now. It really doesn't matter what the package says, as long as you go with the color. Okay, I'm in the spot now. I'm still up on this Memo, but it's okay. I got to get down here to these rocks, and at that point it's going to get well worth the adventure. I've changed my mind. I'm going to get on the bank. I'm either going to go with this kudzu, or I'm hoping for a little bit of poison ivy. That'd be it right there. So I got to look right here where I'm going to shove my hand, on that pile of poison ivy or on this potential. I got to get up there somehow. The cool part is my boots weigh about 8 pounds a piece. How much does a gallon of water weigh? I don't know, you decide. Oh my goodness. Okay. I may find another way out of here that does not involve going back upstream. Okay, it's not as deep as I thought it was. Now I want to be cautious about the land snakes. Let's go. If I had a smaller worm, creeks around this area are known for small red eye. There are no fish under the ice right there. A red eye will be usually in some pools of water waiting for something with green eyes to swim over. I think you get a hit, but oh no sirreesies. Okay, we're gonna climb through here since we got nothing. Let me know how many snakes you count. I've made, well, I looked at the tube the other day and I think I've got like 2,100 videos, and people have often said, hey, did you see that snake right there by your foot? And right back, because I can't talk to them, and say, no, thanks for asking. It's actually a pretty creek. It's just a shame it's little nice tea. I mean, it's got tons and tons of freshwater snails and freshwater mussels and puppy dog tails, but what are the chances of there being some sort of bass in there? There's only about 8 ways to find out. Anybody can get in a boat and go catch a fish, right? Right. Anybody can get hung up on that rock down there, right? Right. There are also raccoons in this creek and beaver. I want to cast over there farther towards that tree. Don't go away. Man, you're so good at casts. I never procrastinate when I'm castinating. Dude, you ain't caught a fish yet. True that. There are no fish under the ice. I can't remember, your job is looking for snakes. I don't have my grabbers, so we're gonna have to like bare hand that monkey, but you see that mosquito? Just amazing. It had some pretty good power. You ever see a rock and you just think, man, I wish I had that in my yard? Okay. Yeah, we're gonna climb the bank and get out here and walk a hillside back. I'm not going up through the black waters again. We got some pretty water coming up, so really hang around about 72 more minutes. Something just ran through the woods. Did you hear it? Did you hear that? It didn't sound like it was running like a deer. I've never got a bear on camera or on GoPro either. I'm trying to go slow. That is the tempo. This is an absolute buffet for whatever it was laying right here. It's an absolute buffet for raccoons. Sometimes I like to make a lot of noise when I walk through a creek, especially a country creek, because you don't know what's going to be in there. And then other times when I want to see what's in there, I go real slow and quiet. But the only problem is, I'm about to sneeze. We're just going to mess it up. It's going to be around this corner. I guess it's time to spend more money on a GoPro or another brand. Once they get like a year old or 2 years old, they start overheating so bad that you ruin every battery, you ruin the GoPro, and you lose the moments you love. Here's a little bass fishing hole right here. There are no fish in there. Where is that animal? Well, that's not gonna do it. I hear it, I hear it. I heard the animal again. It may be a deer, but a deer will generally take off and run and run. I really thought somebody was standing in that creek down there. That would have probably freaked me out. I really wish I could see the bottom of this creek. I wish I was a baller. Why you hang on to that tree? It's so strong. I went and got a haircut this morning. Okay, here's the cool part of the story. It was a little weird. And after I got my haircut, almost in silence, which was kind of nice, the lady said, "I know I ain't supposed to talk about politics, And I said, "What's on your mind?" And away she went. Oh my goodness. Run in there and get that for me. So I'm not going to talk about politics. I did with her a little bit. I listened to her stories. Then I helped her reason to help break her out of this semi-racist mentality, along with the purpose and the good that can come out of all of it. So needless to say, she had other people waiting on her. And by the time I left, everybody was looking at me as if I started the conversation. And I thought, bruh, when you walk up and get a haircut from that lady right over there, I said, say this. I've never been wrong before, but I'm beginning to think there's no more deep water in this creek, except for that right there. There will be a snake on one of these piles, and if there's some kind of a backed up water situation, then there's a good chance there's a fish in it. I thought I just heard a dog. I'd rather run into the bear than a dog. Dogs get all brave, wanting to start fights. If you ever get in a situation with a dog in a creek, go about knee deep. And if the dog chases you, you win. Oh my goodness, I had that fish. The worm's too long. Make some chat. You usually get about one chance with a creek bass or brim. And oh my goodness, I about ripped your little mullet off just then, didn't I, little fella? I don't want to make the worm any smaller. Why you gotta hesitate? Well, dude, take some of that tail off. Well, I would, but it's so pretty. Let's do it again. There's only so many times you can cast down here too and not throw it on the bank. We're gonna go right there into that tree. We're gonna let the fish enjoy. This has got to be a brim. All right, we gotta go a little further down. I thought there was something chasing me. You ready? Y'all ready for this? Little chicken. Little scaredy cat. There is something walking around with me. I'm gonna go up there, wherever what it is went, because I can walk through there and up and get on top of that and pop back down. I was going to turn off the camera, but I kind of want you to see, so if these are my last words, you can see what did it when they found the camera. But the camera's probably going to overheat right about the time something happens, and who knows after that. I'm gonna fish this, but I wanted to stop right here and talk on my phone for 45 minutes to everybody that's calling me and get like a bunch of mosquitoes and come and let them refill, and then we're gonna walk all the way down around and come up. This is where we should see the animal. I'm hoping to land a couple of ticks too. I don't really want to be this high. We got to get down the creek edge. It appears I cannot get down for a long way. So you get what we had here last week. This is where you ask yourself about the choices you've made in life to try and determine if you want to jump down there and slide all the way down to the bottom, or if you want to Rambo it and jump over there on that root, or if you want to just cannonball it right there in the moisture. I chose one of the other options. Now I want to ever so gently get past this hole and cast back up in it. You ask yourself, okay, so much for that. Well, I thought it was gonna work. So you think, man, you're never gonna catch a fish in there. So now I said, well, you gotta be so linguistic, dude. So we go over the stick, over the river, and into the water. And you wait for it, wait for it, wake forest, wake forest, wait, and up over the ridge you go. And then you say, dude, you just scared them all away. And then I said, okay, get your feelings hurt. Let's go down that hole. Whoops, a little too far. We are over a stick that may not matter since it came off. So then you say, hey, what about those mosquitoes on your neck? And I say, I got that actually. And you go right there and you think, okay, this is where they're gonna be. Told you. That ain't my fault. Nobody believed they were really in this creek. Look. That's a baby one. They're not as dangerous. I think they do release all their venom at once if they bite you, though. You go on, you be good girl. Look at the claw marks where something crawls up this. It is mangled like a mango dinner. Even though I sounded like a gigantor monster coming through the creek, let's give it a shot. So far I've held off recording all the times when I catch fish because I don't want you to think that I'm being cocky or anything. Let's keep going. I hear we're about to go under the Eisenhower down here, I think. So if you're still watching, raise your hand. Let me know how far, here's how, let me know how far you got into the video before you said, man, I'm gonna go jump out my window, even though I live on the first floor. Hang on a second, I got to empty the boot. Empty the boot. I'm gonna climb out of here, walk through these woods, and hopefully find a better way out. I was gonna say something of incredible importance. The mosquitoes are vicious up in here. Don't you worry about it. They're not in the camera. You're not gonna get bit. They are in my face. I was metal detecting earlier in my lifetime and there were a lot of mosquitoes around my head. And I put my headphones on, which is, I don't know whoever came up with that idea, but they're so big and so hot. It's like wearing, God, I've been down that road before. You've heard that story. But I thought, man, that mosquito is incredibly large. Then it went in my ear hole and it drank a little while, laid a few eggs, and I was like, oh, it's inside my headphones. And sure be enough, I'll let it go. Like a spider, we slapped high five. And like a bird, it only fly away. How do you get stuck on that stick? Look at that one little bitty stick. How is that possible? I mean, tell me right. Okay, we're gonna take this from the top again. Put the worm over the hook and walk. The walls are getting higher, which means I'm gonna have to go back upstream to, there was a deep hole. I could have partaken of its loveliness, but no, I had to throw straight down the line and scare all the fish off. Getting deep again. I want to walk back up. Maybe I'll stop at the top again after I go out through the woods and see if I can catch that one lonely fish. Once you get where this city creek meets the river, down here is where you really get yourself into quite the conundrum. Please, there we go. That's what I want. That's what I want. Yeah, fall off the side. Pretend you're a worm and you're struggling, and you say, "Help me, Rhonda. Help me, Rhonda." There's got to be a bass in there, right? I don't believe in reincarnation unless it's milk. When I was a kid, we used to have that, and you had to reincarnate it to make it turn into milk again. And but if I did, I can guarantee you 37 things, and one of them is I would not want to come back as a fish. Can you imagine having to live under that? It really wouldn't matter. You wouldn't know what your previous life was if you believe in that route. Because I forget who teaches that, which whatever it is called. But you have no recollection of your former self, so you never knew that you were a former self, and therefore press 9 to continue. We're going to attempt to overhand cast it down the line here. Oh, that joker went so high in the air. It's an absolute miracle that I did not get it hung up. It's going to be interesting to see where I pop out. I remember before I was born, I used to wonder that. And that's funny. This is deep. I just did a CLS way down there, so I'm hoping, since I think we're as far as we can go, that there'll be a fish in here. It doesn't appear that way. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get out of here by utilizing these claw tracks. I'm sinking. Or another set. And go back to fish number 1. On a side note, the good thing is the water will not be as muddy. Well, when I get past where it's brackish up here. This is where it gets exciting. I don't see any poison ivy yet. I'm wondering if this was a wise choice because there's no trail. But if I go this way, I don't have to climb over that tree. Sorry. I was looking at my camera and I had a situational awareness. I don't have to climb over the tree. I don't have to climb any high banks. I don't have to walk in water for a half mile back up stream. 37 years later, I'm back. I'm going to try to do it differently this time and not stir up all the mud, and see if that one decent bass is out here. I'm going to stay right here. Last time I saw it was out there. You remember? Seems like yesterday. I see brim. I see a small bass right there. Trying to be all kinds of sneaky. That's a brim. We caught those sunfish back yonder in Oklahoma. I just realized on the last clip that I thought I'd turn the camera off. So I was trying to get it at a good angle and hold the fish so I could get my phone out to send the picture to my boys. And I did not have the camera off. And then I realized that the camera is almost pointing at the ground. So no telling what the remainder of the video is going to look like. Doesn't matter, really. I want that bass. I don't want to throw right there again, but I will. These lead bullet weights, although they may be steel now, I don't know if they call them lead anymore. Let me taste it. That's lead all day long, boy. They, oh my goodness, what'd you learn to cast? I ain't much on Casanova. Okay, there's a brim to my right. I guess I'll just have to keep it. It keeps chomping berries that float by and then spitting them out. So I guess if that's all we got, that's all we got. So we're gonna come over this rock as if we're some incredible fish. Help, help me, help me, help me. Yeah, they're a little too small for this game. So let's go over here into the heavier liquidate. See what's right there. I want to get between the green. Nothing over here. We'll try right there. If I was a bass, I'd wait there for a little snack to come out. But watching someone fish is bad like watching somebody play golf, but not quite as bad. Look at that wasp that just came down to visit me. But not quite as bad as hearing somebody talk about golf. That is not fun. I made it to the 8th hole. Bogey one canopied. And this is in something's mouth. All right, it's gonna be time to shorten the worm. Very little to work with, but we're gonna try it. I see brim, there's 52, 70,000 of them right there, but the worm is kind of large. So it's a lot smaller now. It is in a fish's mouth. And I just straightened it out and I lost full hookation and I'm hung up. And I'm out now. Let's see what we got. See, I didn't leave myself much to hang around with, but we're gonna do it and go all over. Why does this wasp keep trying to land on me? That's one of those yellow snickler thingies. Oh, I guess a bird. Roll it up. Or maybe that bird just got it. We're gonna take a little more bigger fish option here. I need to get a little deeper. Dig a little deeper in the well. Boys, got to dig a little deeper in the well. Okay, this may not work after all. I need a fresh fish. What does this look like going through the water? Like I tore too much of the tail off. That's where I wanted to be. Now I got to get out of that limb. Boo taka woo like a run. That's a fish. No, I need another worm. I need to start fresh. All right, we'll try one more brim over here. Then you're not even looking. Yeah, they don't want it. When the tail ain't wiggling, they ain't gonna bite. I'm gonna be here a little bit, so if you're done. Oh, there's the bass. There is the bass. I could not ask. Oh my goodness, that was such a beautiful cast. We're gonna walk upstream right here. Oh, I scared it away again. I didn't mean to. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe I did that again. I just, I threw right over the top of it and I didn't mean to. I saw it though. Don't go away. I will see it again when I put these upon. These are official recognition glasses and they help me see the fish. Look at right there. I see it. I see its tail. I thought I did. I could come out here one day more in the summer when the water is not so high and spread out those rocks. Okay, I'm just going to gently go over here and see if I can get another ang. Try not to churn my feet as I walk. I know you can't see. I can't hardly see either. But I'm in the dark. And maybe I can see better. Okay, I see a smaller bass right here. The bass do not want it. I don't know if they're just smart. Those are all brim. Throwing down on it. Try around there. I blew it. That was the one chance I had with that bass in my whole life. I made a decent cast. You didn't see it. I went up into the dark depths behind the greenery. Now back into the deep hole. And there's nothing in there. I don't know why, but why'd you throw it over there, dude? Because you always need to look one direction and throw it a different one. That's what it's all. I need to get between the two. Not right there, but that'll work. Okay, the next fishing video is just going to be one after the other of me catching fish. It's not going to be where you sit here and wait for me to catch a fish or dance and sing. Come on, little bugaboo. It's not going to be any of that. Swimming. That is a 4/0 hook. Maybe it's a 3/0. It is not a 2/0. So don't even go that route. That may be a 2/0. So now, did you see it pop out right there? Dude, you ain't gonna catch anything way down there. Golly. If I'm stuck up down there, the game is over. I guess I better check it. See? Hold on. Wait for it. Something just popped up. If I was a snapping turtleless among us, I would be right down there with my mouth open. This just gotta be the most. Okay, that's what I wanted to get, but I didn't really want to be up in that tree. But I'm thinking I'm gonna reach into one of my earlier skill sets and try to stand up vertical because my back's getting sore. You come over the rock ever so slow, ever so slow. You call out the brim. Okay, I'm between those two rocks that I was hung up on earlier. So we're back to squared circle. And we're gonna walk out here and get it out. See if we can see the bass. Walk out there and talk to it and be the bass. This thing has to be absolutely right in the bottom of this hole. It's not gonna bite. Now if it was unbed, I could stand here and ring an alarm over and over and over and over and over and over and over, and it'd get so mad that it would bite. Something just, oh, that's just a little brim. I think I'm done. Okay, I'm done. Thanks for watching the videos.